Hi guys. Okay, so this is the second video. So if you haven't watched the first video yet, make sure you're going back and watching that one before you watch this one. Okay, so we're on number 2 of page 5.5. Okay, so go ahead and circle your 3 nouns in number 2 and then unpause me. Okay, so the nouns in number 2. Okay, so I'm going to read number 2. Some artists draw pictures on cloth. So our nouns, person, place, or thing. So artist is one of them, person, and then they draw pictures, a thing, on cloth, also a thing. So our 3 nouns are artists, pictures, and cloth. Okay, now go ahead and draw a squiggly line under your verb. Your verbs are your action words. You can do them. So pause me if you need to. Okay, our verb in this sentence is draw because artists draw. What do? They draw, so it's our verb. And there's only one adjective in this whole sentence. So go ahead and pause me and find your adjective and then unpause me again. Okay, our adjective is some because they are some artists. Some describes the noun artist. Okay, so again, we're going to split up the subject and the predicate. So the subject is what the sentence is about, and the sentence is about some artists. And what do? They draw pictures on cloth. So that is our predicate. So we're going to split it up between artists and draw. And look at that. We split it up right before our verb again. Okay, so number 3, mother bought new clothes for my little brother. Okay, so there's 3 nouns in this sentence also. Go ahead and find your 3 nouns and circle them. Pause me if you need to. So you should have found the words mother, clothes, and brother because mother and brother are both people and clothes are things. So those are the 3 nouns you should have circled. Mother, clothes, brother. Okay, now go ahead and find the verb in your sentence. Remember, a verb is an action, you can do it. So there's one verb in this sentence, so pause me and find that. You should have found the word bought. Because what did mom do? She bought new clothes. Okay, so then there are 3 adjectives. Remember, don't forget our tricky article adjectives, a, and the. Anytime you see those words in your sentence, you're going to know those are tricky article adjectives, and there needs to be a box around them, or they need to be, they're adjectives. Okay, so go ahead and find the 3 adjectives in your sentence, and then unpause me. So you should have found the adjectives new, my, and little brother. Or little, sorry. So new describes the clothes because they are new clothes. And then my and little describe the brother because he's my brother, he's my little brother. Okay, now go ahead and pause me. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead and try and find the subject or split up the subject and the predicate in your sentence. So think about how we've done that the last 2 times. Remember, the subject is what the sentence is about, and the predicate is telling what the subject is doing or about the subject. So go ahead and pause me and find that. So you should have broken up your sentence between mother and bought because the sentence is about mother and she bought new clothes for my little brother. Okay, number 4. Sally feels cranky and sad today. So there's only one noun in this sentence. I know that's a little bit confusing and different. So try and find the one sentence and pause me if you, or one noun in this sentence and pause me if you need to. Okay, so you should have circled the noun Sally. Sally is the only noun in this sentence. Sally is a person, and she is who the sentence is about, so she's the subject. Okay, so let's find our verbs. Remember, we like to do, we find the nouns, then we find the verbs, then we find the adjectives, and then we split up the subject and predicate. So go ahead and look for the verb. The verb is the action word. You can do it. So look for the verb in that sentence and make a squiggly line under it. So you should have put a squiggly line under feels, because Sally feels. That's what she does. She feels. So now find the two adjective words in this sentence. Remember, the adjectives describe the noun. So pause me and find the two adjectives. You should have found the adjectives cranky and sad. And cranky and sad actually describes Sally, even though she's way in the front of our sentence. Sally feels cranky and sad. She is the one who is cranky and sad. That describes her. Okay, so go ahead and pause me and try and find the subject, or try and split up the subject from the predicate in this sentence. Make a line. So you should have put your line between Sally and feels, because Sally is the subject. She's who the sentence is about, and she feels cranky. Okay, so go ahead and try number 5 completely on your own, and you'll pause me to do that, and then we will check your answers together. You can check them after you do number 5 on your own. Okay, so you should have found that boy and barn were the nouns in this sentence. Boy and barn. The verb was, because the boy was out in the yard, or out in the barn. Okay, and then there's 4 adjectives in this sentence. Remember our tricky article adjectives? The, a and, but there's 2 thes in this sentence. And then what else describes the boy? Little describes the boy. So the little boy, and the barn. What else describes the barn? Well, it was red, right? So that's an adjective. Okay, and then we wanted to split up the subject from the predicate in this sentence. And so the sentence was about the little boy, right? And then he was out in the yard. So again, we're breaking up our subject and predicate right before the verb. You notice every single sentence, we made our line right before the verb. And I would remember that when I was working on my homework if I were you, because that's usually a big hint, because usually the sentence tells about or tells what the subject is first, and then it tells what the subject does, which is the predicate. Okay, so I'm going to stop this video and start a new one because I don't want it to time us out again.